This wasn't in part of any recommendation list or anyone mentioning it to me. No, I admit I have a small collection of clips from Indian movies, and these I've been wanting to know more about. And due to streaming rights and services, I managed to watch one of them. And that was this movie. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog with no newt. But we have some cows and can give some commentary once in a while. Maybe. It depends if they have some 2 cents to put in. And we've done a lot of pond shots, but we haven't done a video in a while. I'm sorry. I'm going to review the Indian movie, and I'm sure I'm butchering it. Padmaavat. The reason why I want to talk about this movie, A, wow, and B, Hollywood. If you want to know military strategy, this movie does better than Avatar: The Last Airbender, Rings of Power, and Mulan. When you want to be a military strategist, this is a great example on what is military strategy. But that rant aside, let's talk about Padmaavat. Said in its opening credits that this is based off of an old epic poem that India has, and they decided to turn it into a movie, so smart move. The story is about a villain, a hero, and the hero's wife. I am bad with names, and they're hard to remember. The villain, who is part of this tribe of people, I think they're called the Kaji. These are warriors. These guys have been doing military campaigns and now declared themselves salt, and almost half of India is trying his best to gain more power. And through this power grab, he manipulates the system so he can wed the Sultan's daughter. And we find out during the wedding, this guy is just a womanizer. As long as you're beautiful, he'll come after you.
This guy stinks!
And he legally is now married to this beautiful woman, but yet he is still running around having any girl that is to his liking. Ew! Get used to saying that, because this guy is disgusting.
Suck it.
And while that is going on in another part of India, the character who the movie is named of, Padmaavat, again, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, she's on a deer hunt, but misses her target, but hits the visiting king in the shoulder with her arrow.
Ouch.
And with her healing him and such, they fall in love and they get married. But on their wedding night, this guru, who this king viewed as a father figure and a teacher, revealed he wasn't as chaste as he was, and he was trying to be a little peeping Tom. And he was banished. And from that, he goes to the villain, and the story really gets more epic. You have a banished guru who's angry, wants revenge, so he tells this villain, this absolute womanizer, there's actually a beautiful woman in that kingdom. Just looking at her, you will fall immediately in love. And that idea alone has this guy going, I must have her. Not even seeing her, but just the idea, the shadow of Padmaavat pushes him to war. Wow! I don't want to give out any more, because the movie is good. Watch it. You can watch it on Amazon Prime with subtitles for the moment. Yes, this is really good. The scumbags are just scumbags in this movie. And the music is good. And I love how they contrast the hero and the villain. Because when you look at the hero and his palace and how it's designed, this is very warm colors turned to 11. So the white and golds around it just are bright, and their colors stand out more. But with the villains, they are just wrapped in cold colors, There's blues, there's grays, there's blacks. And yet when there's a big giant song number with the villain and his henchmen, they're all with these cool colors, but yet the villain still stands out. You can still spot him in the mass. This is really well done. And the music is fun. There's some songs that I can't help but tap my foot to and bop my head and start snapping. They are fun. But most of this movie is more serious than it is a musical. They have musical spots that are really good. And when they dance... But before I can continue on, I'm going to have to hit pause and start feeding the models. There you go, Brownies. There you go, Bilbo. Well, now we got that settled for a bit. This is a good movie, and one of the things I would like to personally break down from it, kind of mentioned it earlier before, strategy in war. How to film it and execute it and make it look good. Because Hollywood, right now, you suck. Suck it. What do I mean? Okay, you have a freaking fortress versus an army. And in the Outer War, it states this is the last thing you should do is do a siege. So stay in there and you could outlast your opponent that's outside. But unlike some movies and shows, Rings of Power and Mulan, in Disney's live action Mulan, they deliberately A, destroy, or B, leave the fortress. What happens when you stay in? You can outlast them. And that's what this movie does. When your opponent is outside, just hunker down and take it. And both sides show how the leaders help the morale of their soldiers. In the fort, we have the supplies, we have the means. Let's celebrate. On these holy days or these moments of celebration that are part of our tradition, they highlight it. They are doing that. They're keeping morale up, but at the same time showing that these boosters for the morale of your soldiers affects your enemy. Because guess what? They're outside. You're seeing us celebrate. You mean nothing to us. That is psychological warfare. Brilliantly done. But the villain, how he affects his soldiers and how to keep their morale from losing food and all this stuff. A, they want war. They want to see some violence, though we're outside. I'll have you wrestle each other. Get that angst out of you so that way you can tell you're still fighting and still in this. You're planning on mutiny? Well, I will use our campaigns and warfare to keep your morale up, but also stay united. But I'll manipulate you guys. I'll have a spy, one of my loyalists there, and we will coordinate a plan to keep you united. That is brilliant. This is really war tactics at its best. XLA. Hollywood, pay attention. And this movie is just a highlight of this. If you want more strategy about warfare when it comes to forts and everything, I highly recommend Kerasari. The movie's more than just warfare and analyzing it, but it's also going into these deeper, darker depths. And you want women empowerment? This does it. But it doesn't rob the males. This is very balanced movie. It's really well done. Art direction and warfare aside, this is good. It's really well acted, really well done. The camera angles are nice. And this is a really well-made movie.
Chef's kiss? Absolutely.
And highly recommend it. And before I go to the rating, I'm not going to spoil, but at the ending of this movie, your jaw is going to drop. On A, effective. B, you really did that? And C, what just happened? It's kind of like Sidar Udam in that range of, wow, you did this. You went there. It's uncomfortable, but yet they did it in such a way that is respectful for what is happening. And this movie really embraces how to be spectacular. A feat I feel like modern day Hollywood isn't doing well right now.
Woof!
We're losing spectacular. We're losing magic. We're not filming it right. We're not giving it justice. Some animated projects are not doing this well. Kung Fu Panda is the exception so far. On a scale from 1 out of 7, I give this a solid 6.
Yeah!
If you feel like you're getting a little tired of Hollywood, I highly recommend watching more Indian movies. These are entertaining. These are hard-hitting. And also, they are all about one thing, keeping the audience enthralled. And they are doing spectacular. What do you think about that, brownies? Bilbo? Can't see them, can you? Here. Take a look at them. They just love it. Sorry, I can't help it. I love these cows. Mainly brownies. Of any cow that gives me more affection, it's that guy. But until next time, this is the Bullfrog signing out.